You think you know Britain. You don't. Beneath the calm hills and quiet towns lies a land built on fire, ice, and forgotten power. Volcanoes under cities. Forests beneath the sea. Myths buried in plain sight. This is the hidden geography of Britain. 32 secrets the world forgot. Once you see them, you'll never see this island the same way again. Beneath the waters of Wales lies a lost forest, visible only when the tide goes out. It's one of the great secrets of the hidden geography of Britain, a quiet reminder of a time when the sea had not yet taken the land. Each dark trunk that appears in the sand seems to whisper stories of a forgotten world. These trees, fossilized thousands of years ago, tell of a completely different climate and landscape. Today, anyone walking along these beaches can see one of the most mysterious British natural wonders, a living image of the transition between the Ice Age and the present. It's as if the ocean opens the past for a few minutes before hiding it again. Looking at this underwater forest is a way to understand how time shapes everything, even memory. The UK Geological Mysteries show that not every story is written in books. Some sleep beneath the waves. And when the sea decides to reveal, for a moment, what it has kept, we are reminded that nothing on Earth is truly permanent. In the heart of Derbyshire, beneath Peak Cavern, lies a silent underground lake. It's part of the hidden geography of Britain, a world of darkness where light fades and water echoes through stone. Time feels suspended there. Only the steady dripping reminds you that the Earth is still alive. People call it the hidden ocean of England, between the limestone formations and metallic reflections on the surface. You feel the power of the UK Geological Mysteries. It's the kind of place that makes you realize how little we actually know about the world beneath our feet. Exploring this cave feels like walking inside the planet's subconscious. Every drop reveals nature's patience, carving the British underground for thousands of years. And while the surface changes with time, this invisible ocean keeps its secrets. One of the unbelievable facts about Britain that challenge logic and imagination. Before the green hills and calm lakes, Scotland and Ireland were shaped by fire. Rocks over 2.7 billion years old tell the story of a volcanic past few can imagine as part of the hidden geography of Britain. Beneath every peaceful valley lies a frozen memory of chaos. These ancient formations are true British natural wonders, geological reminders of an inferno that once roared where serenity now reigns. It's strange to think that the same landscapes that inspire poets were born from eruptions, strong enough to reshape continents. The green covering those mountains is actually the scar of fire. The UK Geological Mysteries show that nothing in Britain is as calm as it looks. Every stone in the highlands carries the echo of ancient eruptions. Every fault line hides a secret of the deep earth. It's a paradox beauty born from destruction, serenity forged by chaos. In the heart of Wales, Lake Lynn reflects more than clouds, it reflects legends. It is said that King Arthur's sword, Excalibur, rests beneath its surface, linking myth and reality forever. It's one of the great enigmas of the hidden geography of Britain, where every drop of water seems to guard a secret. This lake is not just a point on a map, it's a mirror of the imagination. The silence around it reminds us that not all of Britain's identity is written in books. Some of it lives in the forgotten landscapes of the UK, in faith, memory, and the magic that time could never erase. Those who visit often feel something different, as if nature itself breathes along with the myth. That's the power of the British natural wonders, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. The lake into a throne, the landscape into a story. In Seathwaite, the sky seems never to close its tap. It's the rainiest place in Britain, where water sets the rhythm of life and shapes the spirit of those who live there. This small village is a living piece of the hidden geography of Britain, proof that human resilience can flourish even under endless clouds. The locals have learned to live with the excess. Umbrellas, boots, and stone walls became symbols of adaptation, not complaint. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, Sithwaite shows that real British strength doesn't come from sunshine, but from the ability to thrive in the rain. With every storm, rivers spill down from the surrounding mountains, almost swallowing the village. Yet it endures calm, firm, almost stubborn. It's a powerful reminder that weather doesn't just shape the land, it shapes people. And amid constant rain, humanity finds beauty in the storm. Thanet Island was once surrounded by the sea, but over time, geography erased that border. Sediments built up, the water pulled back, and slowly the island reconnected with the mainland. It's one of the most fascinating ironies of the hidden geography of Britain, when nature itself decides to rewrite the map. Today, people walking there hardly realize they're stepping on land that was once separate. The old villages still hold salty memories from the days when boats were the only way to reach them. This natural transition, one of the many UK geological mysteries, shows that even islands have a quiet desire to belong. The story of Thanet reminds us that time is Earth's most patient cartographer. Borders, seas, and mountains change. What seems permanent is only movement in disguise. Maybe that's why the forgotten landscapes of the UK feel so alive. They're always being reinvented. In Hunstanton, Norfolk, the impossible happens. The sun sets in the east. This small visual miracle is one of those UK geography facts that even locals struggle to believe. The coast curves so uniquely that the horizon appears reversed, turning a simple sunset into something truly magical. It's part of the hidden geography of Britain when nature plays with human perception. Tourists and photographers gather here, convinced they're seeing it wrong, until they realize it's the planet itself showing a sense of humor. The golden sky glows against red cliffs, creating a view unlike any other in the world. Hunstanton proves that geography is not only science, it's art. Every curve of Britain's coastline holds surprises that escape the lines of any map. And while the sun disappears on the wrong side of the sky, it's hard not to feel that the United Kingdom was designed to surprise. In southern Kent, there's a part of England that feels like another planet. Dungeness is dry, covered in pebbles, and wrapped in a strange, endless silence. This unlikely scenery belongs to the hidden geography of Britain, a place where desert meets sea, and the impossible becomes real. Here, wooden houses stand against the wind, and a nuclear power station rises on the horizon like an industrial mirage. It's one of the strangest British natural wonders, a desert surrounded by green. Few believe it exists until they see it, and even then, it's hard to understand how something so dry survives in such a wet country. Dungeness reminds us that nature follows rhythms, not rules. Among the strangest places in Britain, it represents contrast in its purest form, tradition and modernity. Sea and sand, life and isolation. It's the kind of place that changes the way you look at both the map and the world. In the heart of Derbyshire, there's a waterfall that seems to defy gravity. Kinder Downfall is famous for flowing upward when strong winds blow, turning its stream into a mist that rises instead of falling. It's one of the most curious British natural wonders, a playful masterpiece of the hidden geography of Britain. When the wind takes over, the spray scatters through the air like crystal dust. Hikers at the top of the Pennines watch the inverted flow and understand the name, a waterfall that refuses to fall. It's one of those unbelievable facts about Britain that prove nature still has surprises hidden in plain sight. Kinder Downfall is more than a weather trick. It's a reminder that not everything must follow the expected course. Like the water itself, sometimes we have to go against the wind to stand out. Maybe that's why this waterfall keeps inspiring those who seek beauty in the improbable. In the Bristol Channel, the sea seems alive. Its tides rise and fall up to 50 feet twice a day, revealing one of the most powerful natural rhythms on Earth. It's part of the hidden geography of Britain, a reminder that nature itself moves like a heartbeat. When the tide advances, it swallows entire beaches. When it retreats, miles of sand and rock reappear. This constant dance makes the channel one of the most spectacular British natural wonders. Fishermen and locals live in tune with this oceanic breathing, as if time itself followed the sea's pulse. The strength of the Bristol tides is also a metaphor for balance, motion, and stability coexisting in perfect harmony. Among the UK Geological Mysteries, it shows that even predictable cycles hold wonder. The sea, even when it repeats itself, never stops being new. Running from north to south, the Pennines form the backbone of England. These mountain-shaped accents, traditions, and even trade, dividing east and west for centuries. They're a defining part of the hidden geography of Britain, proof that geography can be as powerful as history itself. Between valleys and peaks, small villages developed their own identities. Rain on one side, sunshine on the other, and in between, a land that united opposites. The Pennines are one of the true British natural wonders, showing that landscapes shape people more than people shape landscapes. Today, hikers walk along these ancient paths and feel history beneath their feet. The wind carries echoes of forgotten borders, legends, and old conflicts. And like many of the forgotten landscapes of the UK, these mountains remind us that the past is never really gone. It's just part of the scenery. Off the wild coast of Scotland, sailors once told stories of mysterious creatures called the Blue Men of the Minch. These sea devils belong to the hidden geography of Britain, myths born from fear, respect, and the unknown power of the sea. Every legend here is a way to make sense of what can't be controlled. Sailors believed that if the Blue Men sang, a storm was coming. It was their poetic warning, a way to describe invisible danger. That blend of reality and imagination defines the British natural wonders, where folklore and geography often share the same waters. The Northern Sea is unpredictable, and perhaps that's why these stories survived. They turn fear into wisdom, reminding us that nature demands respect. In the forgotten landscapes of the UK, such legends teach courage better than any compass, still carried by the winds that blow from the Atlantic. On the Scottish island of Jura, deer are the true rulers. There are about 30 of them for every human, moving across the hills with quiet elegance. It's one of the most striking scenes of the hidden geography of Britain, a place where humans are only guests, and nature sets the rules. At sunrise, hundreds of antlers cut across the horizon, a sight worthy of the greatest British natural wonders. The island lives in fragile balance, where the sound of wind and hooves outlasts any human voice. Time here seems to move at the pace of the herds. Few places in the forgotten landscapes of the UK feel as pure as Jura. It's a reminder that not every kingdom needs walls or crowns, just harmony. Watching these free creatures, you realize that true strength lies in remaining wild in a world that tries to tame everything. Long before the Atlantic existed, Scotland's highlands were joined to the Appalachian Mountains in North America. They were once part of a single chain before the continents split apart. It's one of the most fascinating stories of the hidden geography of Britain, the map of today still carrying scars from a shared past. Scientists call it one of the UK Geological Mysteries, but there's poetry in that separation. The rocks of the Highlands have the same composition as those in North Carolina, a geological bond the ocean couldn't erase. The Earth, it seems, also misses its other half. Looking at these mountains feels like seeing a family divided by time. Every ridge and fault line tells of the moment when the planet reinvented itself. Among the British natural wonders, few landscapes show so clearly that even when the world seems broken apart, it still shares the same origins. In Wales, there's a village whose name challenges every map, Llanfyrprawl Glyglionali Lee. With 58 letters, it's the longest name in Europe, a living symbol of the hidden geography of Britain. More than a linguistic curiosity, it represents pride, identity, and cultural resilience. Each syllable carries a piece of Welsh history, a language that survived invasions and centuries of silence. Tourists pose beside the train station sign, unaware they're standing before one of the unbelievable facts about Britain, a village that turned language itself into a landmark. The name is a map in words, describing trees, churches, whirlpools, and hills, condensing an entire landscape into a single sentence. It's the spoken geography of the forgotten landscapes of the UK, where sound replaces contour and language becomes compass. Every letter is an invisible border that time never erased. In the Shetland Islands, winter never truly leaves. Arctic winds sweep through the air, turning the archipelago into a frozen frontier of the hidden geography of Britain. Here, the cold is more than weather. It's a presence that shapes life, habits, and even the way homes are built. Houses are low, walls are thick, and the sea looks like steel. Yet the Shetlands are home to one of the most resilient communities in Northern Europe. It's one of the British natural wonders that shows how people can thrive even where nature seems to say no. This icy landscape holds secrets as old as the frost that covers it. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, it reminds us that there is beauty in endurance and poetry in isolation. Each sunset is brief but powerful, as if the world breathes slower here just to survive. In the heart of Somerset, the city of Bath was born from the perfect meeting of geology and human ambition. Its hot springs, flowing for thousands of years, drew Romans, kings, and dreamers. It's a shining example of the hidden geography of Britain, where the heat of the earth gave rise to an entire civilization. The Roman baths still release steam, proof of how the British natural wonders can turn the invisible into grandeur. Over time, architecture and faith shaped these waters into a refuge that survived for centuries. Each drop that surfaces tells a story that never cooled down. In Bath, ancient luxury meets the humility of nature. The city breathes both steam and history, a reminder that geography is the foundation of culture. Among the UK geological mysteries, few are as elegant. Progress begins when humans learn to listen to the earth. In the 14th century, long before modern skyscrapers, Lincoln Cathedral already touched the clouds. For over 200 years, it was the tallest building in the world, surpassing even the pyramids of Egypt. It's one of the grandest symbols of the hidden geography of Britain, where faith and engineering met in the Middle Ages. Built from local limestone, its central tower became a spiritual and architectural beacon. Without machines or modern tools, medieval builders created one of the British natural wonders crafted by human hands. What once seemed impossible became a symbol of devotion and courage. Today, visitors still feel both the weight of time and the breath of human ambition inside its walls. The UK Geological Mysteries remind us that geography doesn't just define the ground, it inspires what we build upon it. And Lincoln still stands tall, as if the sky were never out of reach. Before London ruled the map, England had another capital, Winchester. Surrounded by hills and crossed by rivers, it was the political and spiritual heart of the country for centuries. It's a key piece of the hidden geography of Britain, where landscape and power came together to shape a nation. It was in Winchester that kings were crowned, laws written, and the idea of England first took form. Its streets still hold traces of Roman walls and Gothic cathedrals, a true open-air museum. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, every stone there tells the beginning of an empire's story. Today, the city seems quiet, but its influence echoes through modern Britain. The British landmarks explained show that empires don't start in metropolises. They begin in places where geography favors vision. Winchester was the rehearsal for empire, the first stage where England learned to dream big. In Liverpool Cathedral, sound has weight, literally. Here hang the world's heaviest bells, more than 15 tons of bronze tuned in harmony. It's one of the most powerful symbols of the hidden geography of Britain, where faith, physics, and art vibrate together. When the largest bell, Great George, rings, the entire city seems to pause. Its sound travels for miles, echoing between the buildings and over the River Mersey. These bells are living British landmarks, explained reminders that the spiritual can be felt in the body as much as in the soul. There's something deeply human in turning metal into meaning. Each chime speaks of effort, community, and endurance, three values that define Britain itself. And as the sound spreads through the air, it reminds us that, like faith, some things are heavy, yet make the world resonate. In Southend-on-Sea, British ambition stretched across the water in wood and iron. The Southend Pier is the longest in the world, reaching more than 1.5 miles into the sea. It's a monument of the hidden geography of Britain, a Victorian dream built to touch infinity. Originally designed for leisure, the pier became a symbol of its era's boldness. A small train runs along its length, taking visitors literally to the end of the line. Among the British landmarks explained, it represents the human paradox, building something monumental just to stand at the edge and look at nothing. The wind that sweeps across Southend carries echoes of a time when progress was measured in distance and dreams. Walking to the end of the pier feels like stretching the limits of reason itself. And there, between sky and sea, you realize not every bridge needs a destination. Some exist simply to prove it could be done. Dudley was once a thriving industrial center, but today it's known for something strange: a large city without a train station. In the heart of modern England, it stands as a symbol of the hidden geography of Britain, where progress sometimes forgets its own path. During the Industrial Revolution, trains passed through carrying coal, iron, and hope. Over time, the lines were shut down, leaving an entire city disconnected. It's one of the unbelievable facts about Britain, proof that even infrastructure has its own selective memory. Today, Dudley is reinventing itself with museums and innovation centers. The British landmarks explained show that geography isn't just land and rivers, it's also the absence of tracks. And in every street without a station, the silence still echoes with the sound of trains that never stopped. In Seathwaite, the sound of rain never ends. It falls on rooftops, fields, and hearts, turning the village into a living laboratory of the hidden geography of Britain. Here, the weather isn't a detail. It's the main character shaping every habit, every season, every memory. The people of Seathwaite learned to live with what others avoid. The umbrella became a cultural symbol, and patience turned into a daily virtue. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, this village teaches that resilience is its own kind of beauty, and comfort is not always the most fertile ground. Even under constant storms, life thrives. The green grows deeper, the air feels cleaner, and the silence between drops is almost spiritual. This human persistence makes Seathwaite one of the unbelievable facts about Britain, a village that doesn't fear the sky. Only the silence that would come if it stopped raining. The Welsh name Llanfair Prel, Legly Lead, is more than a curiosity. It's an entire map in one word. It describes hills, rivers, and churches, turning language into geography. It's one of the jewels of the hidden geography of Britain, where time stretches across every syllable. Each letter tells a story from ancient Wales, when oral tradition was the key to preserving culture. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, this name symbolizes the endurance of a people who chose to lengthen their words rather than shorten their memory. It's a phonetic monument to identity. Today, the name has become a tourist attraction, yet it remains a reminder of the power of language. The British landmarks explained show that words can be landscapes too, and this village proves it. In a world obsessed with simplicity, Wales chose the opposite: to eternalize the detail. Few realize that much of Britain lies at the same latitude as Alaska and Canada. Yet its climate is surprisingly mild, a quiet miracle of the hidden geography of Britain. The Gulf Stream acts like an invisible blanket, keeping the islands warm within the planet's cold belt. While Canadian cities face blizzards, London blooms with gardens in winter. It's one of the unbelievable facts about Britain that has puzzled scientists for centuries. Here, nature seems to have made a silent pact with humanity. The British natural wonders remind us that this balance is fragile. If the Gulf Stream weakens, the British Isles could turn almost Arctic. Perhaps that's the greatest irony of all: living surrounded by cold, yet sustained by a current we cannot see. London has a reputation for endless rain, but the truth is surprising. It rains less there than in Rome. It's one of the unbelievable facts about Britain that challenges stereotypes and shows how perception often differs from reality. Even the skies hide their own ironies in the hidden geography of Britain. What confuses visitors isn't heavy rain, but the frequent light drizzle, soft and unpredictable. That's why the umbrella became more of a cultural symbol than a real necessity. This meteorological myth is as British as afternoon tea, which might explain why it's lasted for so long. The British landmarks explained remind us that London is a city of contrasts, gray on the outside, vibrant within. The idea of eternal rain fits perfectly with its poetic duality. In the end, the city's charm lies in exactly that, appearing cold but always hiding warmth. Cornwall is a peninsula that seems endless. Nearly 300 miles of coastline cut into the Atlantic, lined with cliffs and villages that look hand-painted. It's one of the most iconic places in the hidden geography of Britain, where every curve of land tells a different story. Fishermen, surfers, and artists share this landscape of beauty and courage. The deep blue waters clash with the rough rock, creating one of the most breathtaking British natural wonders. In every cove, there's a peaceful isolation, as if time itself flows slower here. Cornwall is the coast turned into character. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, it stands as the symbol of Britain's enduring bond with the sea, a place living between wind and salt, between the present and the myth. Those who walk its cliffs understand the true edge of the island isn't the sea, but the imagination. Few realize that Edinburgh, with its castles and cobbled streets, sits atop an ancient volcano. Called Arthur's Seat, it's one of the most fascinating UK geological mysteries within the hidden geography of Britain. The Scottish capital was built on fire, and the ground still remembers. Climbing to the summit feels like walking on the planet's past. The rocks reveal layers of ancient eruptions that shaped the land millions of years ago. From above, you can see a city that grew over ashes and history, one of the British natural wonders where beauty and danger coexist. Arthur's Seat is a living symbol of the Scottish spirit. Proud, resilient, and born from fire. The forgotten landscapes of the UK remind us that stability often rests on forces we can't see. Maybe that's why Edinburgh has such a unique energy, a city literally built on the impossible. For centuries, people believed that Britain's final point was Land's End in Cornwall. But the real edge lies farther north at Ardnamurchan Point, Scotland. It's one of those secrets revealed by the hidden geography of Britain, reminding us that even maps tell half-truths. Here, the wind blows straight from the Atlantic, and the waves crash against the very last piece of land. Few ever reach this remote tip, which makes it one of the most untouched, forgotten landscapes of the UK. It's where Britain truly ends. No signs, no crowds, just the sound of the world fading into sea. It proves that geography can be poetic. The British landmarks explained remind us that borders aren't lines, they're perspectives. Standing on Ardnamurchan Point, you realize the end of the map is only the beginning of curiosity. In northern England, a small football club defies geography. Berwick Rangers is based in England but plays in the Scottish League. It's one of those delightful oddities of the hidden geography of Britain, where sport decided to ignore the map and follow the heart instead. This geographic anomaly is one of the unbelievable facts about Britain. While politicians debate borders and identity, football united two nations with a single pass. In Berwick-upon-Tweed, rivalry turns into friendship, and the stadium becomes a symbol of coexistence. Among the British landmarks explained, few stories show better how geography can be flexible. The club proves that not every line divides. Sometimes it connects. And in an age of walls and separation, Berwick reminds us that the most beautiful game is still the one of unity. The River Severn is more than a natural border. It's a cultural line between England and Wales. Its waters have served as a trade route, a political barrier, and a source of poetry. It's one of the defining symbols of the hidden geography of Britain, where nature decides who stands on each side. Stretching over 200 miles, the Severn has shaped dialects, traditions, and beliefs. On one bank lies English modernity. On the other, the Celtic spirit that has endured for millennia. This living duality makes it one of the most meaningful, forgotten landscapes of the UK, proof that identity can flow like a river. The British Landmarks Explained remind us that the Severn doesn't just divide land, it separates ways of seeing the world. As its tides rise and fall, the river keeps weaving stories, showing that sometimes the strongest bridges are made of water. The Forth and Severn bridges are more than structures of steel. They're symbols of connection. They link regions once divided by rivers and centuries, turning natural barriers into human bonds. They stand as proud monuments of the hidden geography of Britain, where engineering overcomes isolation and stitches the isles together. The Forth Bridge in Scotland is a Victorian masterpiece of courage and design, while the Severn Bridge in the south joins England and Wales with modern grace. Together, they represent two eras with one shared purpose: to bring people, cultures, and economies closer. True British Landmarks Explained, built from metal and vision. These bridges remind us that the United Kingdom isn't just a group of islands, it's an idea of connection. Among the forgotten landscapes of the UK, every bridge is also a healed scar. And as travelers cross them, they understand. Geography may separate, but the human spirit insists on uniting. Britain isn't what it seems. Beneath the familiar lies an island built on contradictions, calm on the surface, chaos underneath. Every mountain, every river, every village hides a truth no map dares to tell. If this changed the way you see Britain, don't stop here. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next secret might just rewrite everything you thought you knew about this world.